What's going on, party people? Excuse me, easy for me to say. What's going on, party people? Drew Dickinson here with another edition of the 3D. Of course, each and every show, the main topic will be my beloved Manchester United. And we are going to jump headfirst right into this show. And we'll talk about this past Sunday, a very unconvincing 2-1 win in London. Of course, United faced the reigning FA Cup champions, Crystal Palace, on the road, of course, hence in London. And it was another first half to forget this season, giving the ball away. I feel that the tactical approach that Ruben came in the first half, it, it just wasn't it, to keep it simple. Lenny Euro writing a few stinkers as of late, confidence-wise. He loses his footing and unfortunately brings down Jean-Philippe Mateta in the box. Referee awards the Eagles a penalty kick. Mateta steps up, takes the penalty, and creates a little bit of controversy. He converted the penalty, but commits a double touch, which the new law suggests that the kick must be retaken. See the Madrids in the UCL a few seasons ago for that huge controversy, if you will. Of course, on the retake, Mateta converts, since Palace into the halftime break with a 1-0 lead. Second half, a lot better from United, as it seemed that Palace didn't have much gas left in the tank. Joshua Zirkzee, who in the first half used as kind of like a pinpoint target man, like a pure number nine, when Josh's best position while playing the number nine is to drop back in to the midfield, receive the ball, kind of hold up a little bit, and progress play from there. Ruben allowed him to do that a little bit more in the second half. He, as in Zirkzee, scored a beautiful goal, beating former Manchester United Academy player and goalkeeper Dean Henderson to the near post to tie things up. Lenny Euro, Matthias de Ligt, Luke Shaw were the back three who started the match for Manchester United. And I must say, Luke Shaw, I think, played the best game of the season so far. He played absolutely incredible first and second half. So many game-saving tackles, really goal-saving tackles, to be honest, and just really, really put his all out there for the badge on that really cold Sunday morning in London. We'll progress further into the half. We'll really 8 minutes past Zirkzee's goal, where United are awarded a free kick. If you're facing the Crystal Palace goal, the free kick was to the top left of the 18-yard box. Bruno and Mason Mount were the two who were lined up with the ball to take the, I guess, it's a shot, because you're not going to really do much other than shoot the ball from that close to the goal. But they did a little cheeky play, if I do say so myself. But you can see Mason wasn't quite ready for it. Bruno said, "I'm going to tap it." And as soon as he said it, he taps it forward for Mount, and he slides it right under the wall and beats Dean Henderson near post once again. And now it's 2-1. I mentioned Mason Mount scoring the goal. Mason started at that left number 10, and we had, as I just mentioned before, Joshua Zirkzee started in the middle at that number 9 position, and starting on the right side was Brian Mbumo. And at that point, it was time for Ruben to bring in the reinforcements. Kobe Mainu comes on, Mazraoui, and of course Dorgu enter the field. Ahmad, Euro, Mbumo exit. But for me, coming into the game, not mind you, it was just for 8 minutes. To replace Luke Shaw was Lissandro Martinez. He made his long awaited return from that torn ACL months and months and months ago. I believe it was February, against Crystal Palace. If he can come back, get match fit by, let's say, the new year, and Ruben is allowed to shift Luke Shaw out to the left wing back position and kind of mentor Patrick Dorgu, who is completely raw and still really young, but we see the passion, we see the desire, and we see the talent that is there. If he can be mentored by a Luke Shaw, who has played in World Cups, Euros, you name it, been the Manchester United player for many, many years, I can tell you right now that would not suck for a Patrick Dorgu or a Ruben Amorim, who clearly sees Dorgu as the future left wing back for now. Now that could change because we've seen, like I've said, Dorgu hasn't been performing well, but he's raw, doesn't have much consistency playing, whether it's Matheus Cunha out there. We saw him last season play behind Bruno Fernandes a lot on that left side, number 10. So it could be it's a transition fact, for Luke Shaw to transition back out there, but it's a good spot like Kobe Manu doing now for him to learn and not progress him quickly and burn him out so fast, as we've seen so many players that happen to time and time again. United will finish with the 2-1 lead and secure the much needed 3 points. I cannot say that any louder than I am right now. A very, very much needed 3 points, which slotted United up into ninth place in the league and playing one time a week. You think it could be a little bit better, but I digress. 6-3-4 record, 21 points going into their match week 14 today. A win will see United slot up into fifth place with 24 points, just 1 point off Chelsea for top four. Of course, United will come back home this evening and welcome West Ham United. The Hammers are led by Nuno Espirito Santo. Nuno, of course, the coach of Spurs and Nottingham Forest. He actually has competed against Manchester United 14 times, 5 wins, 4 draws, and 5 losses. Nuno, he took over for Graham Potter on the 27th of September. Potter just didn't really have much backing, didn't really have much to offer the Hammers in his time in West London. Nuno likes to do that 4-4-2. He'll line up in that 3-4-3, but essentially play that 4-4-2 with the two lead strikers. Not sure who they'll be, but for sure Jared Bowen will be one, and he likes to use Wan-Bissaka, who has really come on with West Ham as their right wing back, right fullback. He does like to go forward. Big loss though for West Ham in the middle of the park. Lucas Paqueta received a red card in the matchup against Liverpool, where West Ham lost 2-0. That was back on the 30th of November. And unfortunately for West Ham, but fortunate for United, West Ham are in a relegation battle. They currently sit 18th, a 3-2-8 record with 11 points coming into match week 14. Look, big opportunity for Manchester United tonight. Well, tonight for them, this afternoon for us. They kick off at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Big opportunity for Ruben Amorim and the Manchester United squad. Uncertain of what it's going to look like starting lineup wise. Of course, a little bit of frustration you can see from us fans that you see a lot of players starting, but starting out of position, which I feel is causing a lot of they're not being able to progress well during mid game. And you saw, like I said, in the second half, Ruben kind of tweaked that a little bit, but you got Xerxes, who is used as a target man, not his game. Diogo Dallo, who I think played his best game this past weekend, just like Luke Shaw, but ironically playing on the left side, but he's a right back. Ahmad, a right number 10, playing the right wing back position. Just so many crazy. Oh, even Bruno, our best number 10, who is being used as a 6 or number 8 at times. But Bruno seems to adapt fairly well. But just what I'm saying is players playing out of position where you'd think putting in them in their best places on the field will help them succeed a little bit better. But Ruben knows more than I do, so we'll see where he goes with the starting lineup today. Will he stay with Mason Mount? Is Matheus Cunha healthy? Will he give Lissandro Martinez more minutes? Will Kobe Manu see the time? We see a lot of information coming out lately that Manu's a part of this quote unquote new bomb squad with Xerxes and a few others. Tyrone Malacia. They're going to be trying Emmanuel Ugarte, who has just underperformed so much since coming to United. But I digress on that. Back to Manu and Co. though, but will he get minutes? That I was saying the new bomb squad. They're going to be looked to being offloaded in the January window. If not then, definitely the summer. Manu, went from playing in the Euro final, leading England just not too long ago, to not getting very much minutes at all for Manchester United currently. Is that a tactical situation by Ruben, or is Ruben protecting Kobe to not burn him out earlier, like we mentioned with Patrick Dorgu and so many other young players that not just come through United, but have come through Europe and world football in general? With that being said, West Ham will put forward their, the best possible squad they can do, obviously, but without Paquetá leading the midfield, anchoring that whole entire team, it's going to be difficult for the Hammers this afternoon. I think United won't be I don't think they'll come out as flat as they did against Crystal Palace, but that's time will tell with that. But I think United will see that the way Ruben wants him to play is a certain type. I know it's going to take a while, and we've just beaten a dead horse over this. But I think this afternoon they'll come out with a little bit more of a positive approach and a more positive play. And I think that they will step away with a 2-0 victory at home and slot up in that fifth place position with 1 point below Chelsea, who sits in fourth place in that fourth and final Champions League position. Well, that's going to do it for me for the 3D, but please stay tuned either tonight or tomorrow morning before the World Cup draw. I'm going to drop the very first episode of The English Are Coming 2026, and it's going to be a tactical breakdown of what to expect from the England manager, Thomas Tuchel. So stay tuned for that on the Soccer Down Here social media channels, and of course, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Thank you so much. We hope to see everybody at the Brewhouse Cafe tomorrow, 12 p.m. for the World Cup draw. But once again, thank you so much for listening to the 3D. And that's it for me. And of course, as always, Drew Ski. Ow.